When I was growing up in Queens, we had vocational schools. They were great. We don't have schools like that so much anymore, but we're bringing them back, vocational schools. These are very talented people that love that type of work, and it's great work.
You know, that hit the spot, didn't it? He wants to bring back vocational schools, which have really gone out of favor over the past couple of generations. Come on in, John Ratzenberger, actor and founder of The Gift Box, and a frequent guest on the program, and a welcome guest. John, welcome back.
Good morning, Stuart. How are you?
I'm very well, and I was very pleased to hear the president try to stop the denigration of working people, the denigration, the looking down on people who work with their hands. That's your theme too, John.
That's for the last 20, 25 years now. I've been going around the country speaking about that, and now the president has talked about that yesterday at Snap-on Tools. I guess my job is done, Stuart.
No, it's not done. We want you to be part of the bully pulpit for it, because, look, I don't know many people who would be against this. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Well, it'd be a surprise to you that a lot of parents are against that, because they think if their child goes on to be a bricklayer or a welder, that somehow they're not as intelligent as the kid that went on, to four-year liberal arts college. But in fact, if you're an apprentice plumber or an electrician or a carpenter, your road for the next 4 years is much more difficult than a four-year college. And at the end of the day, you're going to be making a lot more money, too.
Are you in favor of, like, apprenticeship schemes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what built civilization. It wasn't just somebody being handed some tools and said, here, go build the Empire State Building. No, you have to know what you're doing as an apprentice. You get through the apprenticeship, then you go to journeyman and then master. So before I became an actor, I was a journeyman carpenter. And it's not easy. They put you through a rigorous training.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you for a second, because, look, I was born and raised in Europe, born and raised in England, and stayed there until my very early 20s. And I distinctly remember that people looked down on people who worked with their hands.
Right.
What we call blue-collar people over there, it's the working class. And there would be that dismissive approach to the working class. I think the president has picked up on that. He wants to get rid of that elitist view of youngsters who don't necessarily want to go to college.
Well, the best way to do that is to get rid of the term blue-collar worker. I've always bristled at that term, because it's essential worker. If every actor or everybody in the media, sports celebrities, disappeared tomorrow, excuse me, our families would be sad, but that's about it. The world would carry on just fine. But if all the electricians, welders, carpenters, truck drivers decided not to go to work for one day, civilization would grind to a halt. So I always use the term essential worker. These people are essential to our civilization. Without them, we don't exist, frankly.
So why is this not a Democrat issue? I mean, Democrats traditionally have been supported by blue-collar workers, if I have to use that word again. But now it's a Republican issue.
Yeah, traditionally it was, but don't forget you had a shift from Tip O'Neill, who was Speaker of the House. And you can imagine Tip O'Neill on a Saturday afternoon in the garage fixing his lawnmower. Well, try to imagine Nancy Pelosi doing the same thing. That's why, because Tip O'Neill understood. He was from, that's from where he rose. And he understood people who actually work with their hands. But that changed with the 60s. All that changed. And even the attitude towards working, the shop classes were canceled. Home ec classes were canceled because of this philosophy that we should all be actors or ballerinas. I love being an actor, by the way. But it's also very comforting for me to know that I could go anywhere in the world and get a job as a carpenter because I possess that skill. Well, that's the way I raised my kids, and I think there's nothing wrong with being a PhD who can also win a bar fight. It's not bad to be a psychologist who can also take out the engine of the car. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like the warrior poet, I guess. You're complete. You're a 360-degree individual.
See, now we know why you're a popular guest on this program. You tell it how it is. And you're a carpenter, for heaven's sake. Other famous people in carpet.
A chippy to you.
Yes,
A chippy.
That's right. A chippy.
Right.
That's precise. How many people in our audience would know that? I mean, maybe
No,
count
I
on
do.
one hand, I think. A chippy.
Well, my years in London, that's how I got work. I'd go up to a building site and I said, you need an extra chippy.
As an actor, can you do a British accent just like that? Can you do it?
Well, I'd go say, hey, do you need an extra chippy? He'd go, right, mate, right.
That's not
That's
bad.
not bad. all it
That's not
took.
bad. That's London. You realise that. That's
Yeah.
London. And do not
That's
ask me...
South London. That's more Battersea.
Oh, he's getting...
And it's not Battersea, it's Battersea, okay? You got that?
Battersea, yeah.
Battersea.
There you go.
And I will not deliver an American accent. That's a fact. John Ratzinger, we think you're all right, and you can come back on this show any day you like. Thanks for joining us, sir.
All right, Stuart. Thank
Good
you.
man.